Welcome to another Nature's Glory Cabin Off-Road Edition. We have another YouTube follower ride. We have one person with us, one of my followers, that wanted to do a ride. We're in the dbbb and we're going to do Cave Fork Bald Rock New Virginia Road Loop. We start off at the Red River Rock House and we turn down Highway 11 South to head toward the entrance to Ashland Camp Road here. Ashland Camp Loop is off Highway 11, and just a little bit up here on the left is the entrance to Cave Fork. You'll see the sign here says Cave Fork. We're going to cut off a lot out of this. I've done several of these, but this is what you can expect if you go on one of our easy YouTube follower rides. We're going to feature all the water crossings probably, and we're going to have the rear view camera of the follower that's with us. I know y'all like to see yourself and get a different perspective from that rear camera also. It kind of shows you a little bit more depth to the trail. The front camera kind of flattens it out a whole lot more. The rear camera is down a little closer to level, so it shows you a little bit more of the trail. Hope you all enjoy this, and if anybody wants to ride with us, follow us on our Facebook page, and I usually announce when we're in the area and we can connect, and maybe you can go on a ride with us. This area right through here usually has a lot more water. Today, not so much. The name of our Facebook channel is the same as this. We have a cabin we also went where we're not using it, but we use it a lot, so it's also rentable. Obviously, it's Nature's Glory Cabin. So this is that same area that I went through forward just a second ago. Now we're showing the rear camera view going through it. We obviously were not driving this fast. We're in 4-low, crawling along at, I don't know, we might hit 5 miles an hour every now and then. This entire loop takes about 2 hours to do. Don't get in any hurry. Enjoy the scenery. There's a lot of scenery back in here. We run right along the creek here. Again, we're still on Cave Fork. This little spot we're coming to now looks like you can go left. Don't go left here. That's up to a exploration area that belongs to some of the oil companies. Just continue on to the right straight. We'll come to another area that looks similar to it, and I'll mention that in a minute. It's a good bright day. We did this at the end of August 2023, and hadn't been raining much, so not a lot of water, but the scenery is still beautiful. There's another water crossing we're going to come up to. Again, these usually have more water in them. At one time, this spot we actually saw beavers in back in the spring. A pair of beavers. When you go back in here without a big group, sometimes you'll see wildlife. And here's that same crossing from the rear. And I've cut a lot out. Mostly the water crossings is what I have in here. We pull up here, you'll notice a little jerk here. We took some pictures, and I cut that little weight out, and then we took off. Again, the rear view camera of the same water crossing. And we zip right along. This is the end of the official Cave Fork. To the right up here is Fixer Lico. To the left starts Bald Rock. We're going to take some pictures here, so you'll see me circle around. And it looks like the rear got out of sync just a hair there. We'll get it back in sync here in a minute. And you'll see here in a quick second, we'll get a better look at our follower that's with us. He's in a newer Rubicon JK 2-door. I believe it's a JK, it might be a JL. So we're going to cross this water here and go left, and we'll get the water crossing from the rear view here in a second with the follower. His name is Jeremy Smith, excuse me, or Brown, I can't remember. I'm sorry if I messed your name up. He knows this area quite well, actually, as it turns out. He's a rock climber, so he actually told me things about the area that I didn't know. And when we get over to the other side, actually on Bald Rock, we'll talk about that a little bit. He knew more about it than I did, obviously, because he climbs up here. But I didn't know his level, and he was happy to go on the easier ride. And in part 2, we do something a little more fun. So hang around and watch for the second video to come out after this one. Again, very scenic. The water's down low. Usually the water to the left there is halfway up through there and covering more of that area. That's a good spot to stop if you need to get off the edge. And running right along the creek still. If you notice up ahead, you can see there's a four-wheeler. There was a few kids, I think, were camping at a spot, and they were out here running up and down. Now here we go to the right. Bald Rock continues to the left. We're going to go right onto New Virginia Ridge Road. In the past, I have called this Cave Fork. It is not. It's New Virginia Ridge Road. And we come down through here. This is the spot where I was talking about. There's a culvert you cross. When you cross this culvert, you stay left for New Virginia, and right is Sinking Creek. Sinking Creek is a lot harder ride. We're on about a 2.5-ish here. Sinking Creek's probably a 4, maybe a 5 in places, depending on your equipment. This is a stock ride. Sometimes you'll see me do harder things. Alright, now we're going down a big sweeping 180-degree turn. You can do this two ways. You can stay way to the outside and get a little off camber, or you can stay to the inside and put your right tires up on that center and stay a little flatter. Another spot that usually has water in it to dry again. Hard to tell, but if you look up, you can see there's a creek bed there to the right. But this mud hole always has water in it. I have not seen it empty. Probably a spring up in the hills somewhere feeding it. And here's that from the rear view. I'm sure I'll be saying that a lot this video. And from the rear view. Okay, this is the bridge on New Virginia Ridge Road. It's kind of, I wouldn't say coming completely apart, but you need to watch it. You see, we're checking it out. In a second, you'll see me hammer a nail down with a rock. But we check it out here pretty good. Make sure you check it out before you cross it. This has been changing almost every time I've been across it. So we're going to stay to the left, because at this particular crossing, I know there's some nails sticking up on the right side there in this direction. So we're going to stay to the left and carefully cross this. This is a spot we usually stop. My wife gets out and take pictures. We're going to stop for a minute here, show you a picture of my follower here that's with us after he crosses the bridge. And his Jeep is stock except for 35-inch tires. And we're going down the hill. After we went up it, we didn't show. There really wasn't much to show. There's usually, these ridges have been graded off. They're now starting to show some roots again, but they're not hard to do. You can do this in either direction. If you stay far to the, what would be the right, going down the hill, it's a little less muddy. Again, gravity is your friend in situations like this. This isn't too bad. This is the end where we come out on New Virginia Ridge Road, and we turn left here to go up the hill and out. You turn down the hill and go right to a much rougher area, which takes you to Sinking Creek. So here he is coming out and turning left. And there's still a few little rocks up through here, nothing major. It's still kind of exciting stuff to do. Notice I sped this up a lot more. There's some rocks. They're not hard, but we're not going anywhere near this fast. And I've cut a lot out. And sped it up quite a bit. We're getting close to being done with this end. We're going to come out on the top on Highway 52. We're going to make a left to 498. Excuse me. We're going to make a left on 52 after we come down these few rocks here and go down to the Bald Rock entrance. which is not marked. Here's some fun little rocks to climb. They're not hard, but interesting. Obviously, weather conditions can change. It's dry right now. Wet might make things slicker. Obviously, the ground can wash out if there's heavier rains. Here we are coming out at the top of New Virginia, hit the pavement. And that from the rear. Alright, here we turn off 498 onto the Bald Rock into the Pendergrass Murray Reserve. There's the sign for it after a bit. And I'm just going to show some of the major points, water crossings, etc. This is the climbing area if anybody does any rock climbing. Apparently it's world famous. And here's one of the first water crossings. And here's another one. I cut out most of the climbing area because there really wasn't much there as far as water crossings. We get a little further along. The folks that do the rock climbing don't generally come this far. This loop comes all the way back around and joins back up to New Virginia, where we turned right. We're going to come back in now below that oil derrick, oil pump. You'll see there's another one here. Sometimes they're running. They are active. They come on at various times, so please stay clear of them. And here we are coming through the water. That's the same water we went through a second ago from the front. This is the rear view. This water is usually a lot deeper. And there's that oil derrick, oil well. Again, I've condensed this down and cut out a lot. The 2-hour loop down to about just under 18 minutes. So this is a nice water crossing here. Usually this is higher, but this is a nice long one. Just take your time through here and come out the other side. Don't forget your tread lightly principles, and don't forget, if you take something in with you, please take your trash back out. I like to try to keep these places open for future generations. As we enjoy the scenery and continue on, as you note, I'm taken an awful lot out if you've ever ridden these trails. If you haven't ridden them, you'll see when we get there, because there's a lot in between, but it's not water and it's not terribly exciting. We took a quick pause there and probably took a picture. And this is where I think we're going to come out at the end after a quick rear view of him coming through the water. This is where we meet back in with, from the left there was New Virginia. And maybe we can see that a little better from the rear. And there's that oil well where we buried right when we went in. And here we are along the creek, like when we came in, just a different angle. Sometimes things look a little different from a different angle. But we're still on bald rock. Same way we came in, we're going back out now. All right, here's where we go back to the crossing. We're getting on Cave Fork here now with the crossing here, where we, if you saw us, we did a little loop at the beginning to turn around. So we went right instead of straight. If we went straight, that'd be Fixer Lico. And another video, I did another video of that, I believe. So now we're back on Cave Fork, heading back towards Highway 11. Looks like we've met somebody on the trail here, and like always, try to be courteous, and whoever can get over the easiest should do that. And here we are back at the crossing that we talked about. We saw beavers at one time. I recognize that by that rock right there that's in the stream. There's a lot more pictures over on the Facebook page. Not necessarily from the videos, but still pictures that my wife takes in the area. Some of them are Jeep pictures. We don't discriminate. We don't care what you have as far as type of vehicle. We'll go with anybody. We don't care what you have. So just come out and have fun. Now we're back at the beginning on Ashland Camp Loop Road, and we're going to go down here to Highway 11 and on to Old Fincastle. Thanks for watching.